in and chime in on Basketball Wives. Y'all already know how I dizzoo. I know I'm behind like a mother sucker. Your girl's been out of town. She was in Florida getting her little vacay on with her boo-boo and some friends. And we had a grand old time, came back, and I'm refreshed and ready to go. I'm behind as fuck on these recaps, just so you guys know. And by the time you guys pretty much see this, a new episode would have aired, but trust and believe your girl will be doing a recap on that as well. But I thought I would at least do the recap on the episodes that I've seen thus far, and I've seen 2 thus far, right? Episodes 1 and 2, and I'm still working on episode 3. So bear with me. I will be coming out with another recap here shortly. But y'all, I already started to see some buffoonery, and I thought, it was all kind of lovely and all that stuff when it done started. And then I was like, okay, well, what's gonna happen? And how's this gonna, move and transition into the usual buffoonery? And yeah, they didn't disappoint with that. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. So we start off with episode 1, which is obviously the episode that was shot not soon after Evelyn's whole situation with Ocho Cinco. We all already know how that situation went. And you know what? It was just kind of catching up with everybody, but for the most part, kind of getting everyone's thoughts and opinions and reactions after the whole Evelyn Ocho Cinco situation. Obviously, she's had some trials and tribulations since then. Obviously, she's had to deal with the whole Ocho Cinco situation. She's been on, Oprah's network with, whatever her name is, Vizant or whatever her name is, Fix My Life, whatever. A lot of this first episode was really just focused on how everybody reacted to what happened with Evelyn and Ocho Cinco, what happened to her as far as, how she transitioned into, kind of getting back to normalcy, right? So not much going on in episode 1, not so much outside of the fact that, what's her name? Oh girl, the puppet without the strings. Susie, I believe her name is. Yeah, okay, outside of the fact that the one thing I did see, she done did some different shit to her face. I was trying to pinpoint exactly what the fuck she done did. Turns out I guess she got her jaw broke so that she could reset her mouth and that kind of thing. And Ashley, it's taken me a little bit to get used to it, to be completely real, but by, going into 3rd episode or episode 3, I've kind of gotten accustomed to it. You know what I'm saying? She's definitely looking a lot better, but the bitch still stupid as fuck. Moving on to episode 2. Here's where some of the buffoonery takes place. So we already start off knowing that there's a new basketball wife that's become part of the mix, right? And this is her introduction. So Evelyn knows this girl named Tasha, who is Stefan Marbury's wife, all right? And she's been friends with this girl for over 14 years or whatever the fuck, right? And I guess supposedly there was a portion of Evelyn's book that centered around, some issue that happened, that seemingly happened to Stefan Marbury, and it is true. It's all over the place. But this whole situation with the chef that they had, the personal chef that he done made sign a contract or had a contract with, where if she or he broke the contract or whatever, in whatever shape, form, or fashion, she would get $900,000, all right? So supposedly the shit's true. It's all over the internet if you Google it. But I guess she made reference to something of that nature in her book. I didn't really catch in the episode whether she was saying that, she actually was referring to Stefan Marbury's situation specifically. She was just like, oh, I talked to Tasha about it. I wanted to make sure that everything was copacetic. I didn't want her to think it was directly at her. I was just trying to make the book, juicy. Nah, bitch, you didn't need to go there. You could have used another scenario. I'm sure there's other ways you could have done that, especially if you already knew about the chef scenario. If you've been friends with this bitch for 14 years, I'm gonna need you not to use that exact scenario in your book to make it sound all nice and deep and juicy. There's other motherfucking shit. You could have used a stewardess on an airline, the fucking, I don't know, whatever the fuck. You could have used another scenario, not that particular one. But it's whatever, because like I said, we got introduced to Tasha. So Tasha seems very quiet, very more reserved, I guess, than the other ladies are. And anyway, we get introduced to her. Evelyn's trying to, try to get people to kind of get, acquainted with Tasha. So Tasha's trying to have a little get together at the house, and Evelyn's all excited. She's talking to Tammy and telling Tammy about Tasha, and of course Tammy's all, already on reserve because she's not trying to recruit nobody in the Tasha school of this is who the fuck I am. I'm like, Tammy, chill the fuck out. One, Why the fuck is she even concerned about this bitch? Why you already got an attitude before you meet this girl to begin with? How the fuck you know what her story is? You already got a stink ass attitude talking about how you gonna try to do some shit, and then you plotting with Susie, okay? Talking to Susie, who's dumb as a motherfucking box of rocks. If that bitch follows one more direction from one of them bitches to do any of their dirty work one more again, like for real, Tammy sat and talked to Susie right before that whole dinner went down and was like, look, here's the deal. I need you to do as much research as you can about this whole chef situation. I don't want to be the one to say it because I don't want to look like the bad guy, but I need you to bring it up. So do all your research, look at media takeout, TMZ, do whatever the fuck you need to do to make sure we can kind of call her out on her shit. Why the fuck was that necessary? You're going to her house, okay, to break bread, have some champagne, maybe a brewski, okay, for Tammy, and get to know the bitch before you already trying to put all her shit out there and crack her over her skull. And my thing is, Susie's stupid ass is like, yeah, I'm gonna finna look it up. Who the fuck are you? You don't have your own brain cells? Like, for a minute, I was like, okay. She's talking about,
I don't know what's going on with my life. You know, I had 10 cars, a $3 million house, and I had all the luxuries. And then when they leave, they take it all with them.
bitch, look, I need you to focus on trying to get yourself together rather than being everybody else's motherfucking peon doing all they motherfucking dirty work. Because guess what? When you at the dinner table at Tasha's house, okay, after old dude, the new chef, is talking about, yeah, we're going to have some chicken and waffles. He's just doing his job and he shucks and jives his ass right back into the kitchen. Here goes Susie's dumb ass talking about some, okay, so real quick question, right? Hi, how are you? My name is Susie. So is the story about the chef true? What the fuck? I wish a motherfucker would be at my dinner table breaking bread at my house and you gonna bring up some stupid ass shit like that. I'd have been like, bitch, get the fuck out. The fact that she actually manned up and was like, and not even manned up, but just took it like a champ like she did when she really could have had a stank ass attitude. She was like, you know what? It's true. Done. And you know what? That shit happened in the past. Stuff happens. What can I do? My thing is, that is a hurtful ass situation, regardless of how the fuck it went down and the fact that she's still with this ass or whatever the fuck. At the end of the day, was it necessary to start that shit? And then Tammy's looking down while Susie's asking that shit like she didn't have nothing to do with the shit. Bitch, own up to your shit. But then she saw an opportunity to ask, okay, about the money. Did that really happen? Tammy, do you not have any couth? Meanwhile, you talking about you ain't trying to be highfalutin with no sedity, bitch. You ain't got no damn class. Who does that? You know what I'm saying? So I was surprised that Tasha kept her composure. I know this story has been all over the internet. She's probably already accustomed to being berated with questions about it. She took it very, very well, and she could have gone there, and she would have had every right to do so. At the end of the day, nobody deserves that, especially not in their house, and especially for something that was probably a really, really sad, hurtful time for her, because that's fucking embarrassing as hell. I was very surprised and really bothered by the fact that during that little interaction at the table at Tasha's house, Evelyn didn't say anything, because my thing is, you were really trying to force the issue, and now you're kind of like not saying anything, like, hey, how about if we just stop that conversation? I just feel like that needs to, that should have stopped right there. Like when they asked the first question, Evelyn should have been like, all right, Susie, you know what? Let's just not bring up all the dirtiness in the past. Let's just focus on trying to get to know each other better. Whatever the fuck. Even Sande could have done that shit. Fuck it. That shit was inappropriate as fuck. All right. Then Tammy, who's supposed to be Evelyn's friend, why the fuck do I feel like there's hella shade being thrown Evelyn's way too from Tammy? When she brought up the fact that, she did something for PETA, okay? And she was like, I'm no fur and da-da-da-da. And Tammy's like, oh, you ain't no fur? For real? I mean, she was damn near like, bitch, I saw you wearing fur yesterday. My thing is, was that necessary? And why the all of a sudden shade? I thought y'all were ace boon coons. So what the fuck happened? So whatever the fuck happened between the two of them, I need to know why Tammy has such a problem with Evelyn all of a sudden. Because now she's like, oh, well, from what I understand, I didn't know she had stopped wearing fur. The bitch done gave her fur to her daughter. Really? Wow. All right, so we move on to episode 3, where we've got a nice little stroll in Central Park being had by Shawnee and Tammy, who I guess Tammy done found out that everybody kind of, warned Tasha that things could go either right or wrong or left or right when they meet her, right? Okay, or when she meets Tasha, okay? So Tammy, for some motherfucking reason, thinks that was really shady what Evelyn and Shawnee did, okay, by even making that suggestion to Tasha, and that they shouldn't have put that out there because it makes, and sounds as though Tammy's associated with some negative shit. When she said that shit, I was taking a sip of my drink, and I swear I done about choked on that shit, because I was like, really, bitch? Exactly what the fuck they warned her about is exactly what the fuck you did. The only thing that was different about it this time was the fact that you had someone else do your dirty work for you. You went to Susie's old puppet ass and told her to do all the questions and asking all the stupid shit and inquiring and shit about whatever the fuck was in the gossip blogs about, Stefan Marbury and all that other bullshit, so that you wouldn't look like the bad guy. But don't get it twisted, boo-boo. Obviously, she's gonna find out you put her up to that shit, right? Okay, so now she's upset with Shawnee. My thing is, and of course, they haven't shown the shit yet, but she hasn't really approached Evelyn, per se, in the way that she approached Shawnee. But you see, she backed the fuck down when she was like, oh yeah, well, I guess we gonna agree to disagree, because Shawnee was like, look, bitch, I've got 10 kids, a gazillion dollars. I run this shit right here. Come at me with some other bullshit. You know what I'm saying? What the fuck was Tammy gonna do? Oh, bitch, I ain't fucking with you no more. Shawnee runs the shit. Remember that shit, right, Tammy? Okay. So Susie wants to make amends with Tasha for what she asked, whatever. And Susie, she trying to find her place in life. She's going through a whole bunch of bullshit. But the fact remains, she's always looking for somebody to latch on to, okay? She's a wannabe. Let's be real about that shit. So now she's trying to make amends with Tasha because she feels bad about whatever the fuck she done asked her. So they sit down, they have dinner, out at a restaurant. They break bread and they determine, what, let bygones be bygones. We're going to go ahead and let that shit slide and keep it moving. So they decide they're going to go to the whole, to the birthday party that PETA threw for Evelyn together collectively, right? So they go ahead and, throw everything else out the door, and they starting fresh, and they in the limo, right? Now, here is where some fuckery occurs, okay? And some sideways ass shit, if you ask me. Now, Tasha seems like she's real, for the most part, this first episode that we saw her in seems real low key, seems like, she's kind of got her head together, doesn't really seem like she's gonna pop off right away if you kind of, nudge her or whatever. It might take a little bit more nudging, okay, than it would maybe a Tammy or an Evelyn type of person. But I felt, and tell me if y'all saw that shit, but in the limo, I felt a little shade. Okay, and it wasn't because of just what the fuck she said when she made the, the joke about the helmet, okay, towards the latter part of the conversation. I felt a little shade from Tasha from the beginning of the conversation she had in the limo with Susie, okay? I just feel like there's a little bit of shade. Now, keep in mind, Tasha's been cool with Evelyn for, 14 years? They're supposed to be been cool friends, whatever. They know each other, been knowing each other for a while. Somehow, I just feel like Tasha's a little bit envious of Evelyn. Now, I don't know what for whatever the fuck reason, okay? Maybe, Evelyn and the new opportunities that have come up because of whatever the fuck's been going on, her being on Basketball Wives, whatever the fuck, the situation with Ocho Cinco, the fact that she's been getting a lot of, publicity and airplay. Some positive things have come out of it for Evelyn as well, okay? Money-making opportunities, whatever. I felt like there was a little shade. Let me know if y'all saw that shit too. Like, yeah, I guess she did okay for herself after what happened with Chad Ocho Cinco. I mean, when I was in school, I wasn't about to stop going to school because Stefan didn't really have much to offer me at the time, and I was his girlfriend, and bitch, okay, we get the fact that you done finished school, you kept continuing to motherfucking work, and whatever the fuck, boo-hoo, whatever. But I felt like it was almost like, yeah, do not think that what Evelyn did was so different than what the fuck I did. I just felt like there was some shade, some side-eye going on, you know what I'm saying? A little hate, and I don't even like using the word hater. Y'all know that, the hate, the shade. I don't like that shit, for real, but that's kind of how it came across to me. And then they go on, and of course, Susie's sucking, Evelyn's dick, because she sucks everybody's dick, and she's sitting here talking about how Evelyn done came up and rose up from the ashes, and I'm really proud of her, proud of the PETA thing, proud of everything that's going on, and she needs to start dating somebody, maybe date a few people, whatever. And here goes Tasha with some, here's what would be funny, how about if she wears a helmet on her next couple of dates? Bitch, did you think that was appropriate? Okay, now, keep in mind, we already know about the situation with the book and the shit that Evelyn done put in there, whether it was related to whatever the fuck happened with Tasha or not, or it was just a happenstance, an accident or whatever, But still, this is, that wasn't really appropriate. I mean, if we want to be real, that wasn't really appropriate. And then, you could tell Susie was kind of like, yeah, this is awkward. She laughed nonetheless. The bitch needs to I swear Susie needs a motherfucking backbone. I promise you on everything I love. I need her to get a degree in backbone. I need her to get a Bachelor of Science in personality. I need something because Susie's killing me with this shit. So lastly, Shani and Evelyn get together and they talking about the fact that, Tammy had a little problem or whatever, and talked to Shani about the fact that she felt like everybody made it seem like she was, a negative person and gave, Tasha this really bad impression of her before she had a chance to meet her and blah, 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 blah. And I cracked the fuck up between their exchange because honestly, I was with the both of them on that shit. Like, Evelyn, of all people to give a fuck about something like that, I mean, seriously, knowing Tami'S history, whatever the fuck they done said with regards to the fact that it could have gone left or right, they really didn't say anything that bad, and to be honest, that's exactly what the fuck it was. It really could just go left or right or wrong, because Tami'S always fishing for some shit. Obviously, if she had Susie asking a whole bunch of shit, she had all kind of research being done on the bitch before she had a chance to meet her, obviously she was already gonna start some fuckery, so whatever the fuck they said was accurate, but the fact that, they were just sitting there laughing and going back and forth talking about the fact that, shit, I got other shit to worry about. This shit is stupid as fuck. I thought was fucking hilarious and I was with them. I was like, the fuck? Tammy knows they right about that shit. So anyway, I've only gotten through episodes 1 through 3 so far. Those are the only episodes that have aired as of right now as I'm sitting here, okay? There's another episode that's going to air later on tonight of Basketball Wives. I will now be completely caught up with everything. And of course, I'll do another recap on the new episode of Basketball Wives, but I had to go ahead, come in, chime in on whatever the fuck episodes I already saw, because I didn't want to get too far behind. Hope you guys enjoyed the recap. Please let me know what you guys thought of some of the shit, especially with Tasha's ass. Comment down below, let me know what y'all think. And you already know what to do. As always, follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/Socialite Sande. Of course, hit me up on my Facebook fan page or Pinterest page. Those links are down below, as well as my blog, TheSocialiteLife.blogspot.com. And I'm on Instagram at Socialite Sande. And you already know I love y'all. And I will see y'all in the next video. Love y'all. Bye. Look at little Miley Cyrus trying to twerk whatever the fuck she thinks she got, on camera. It was